Welcome back, Trinity people. We're getting you ready to meditate with us on Wednesday nights. This week, our energy is responsibility. I'm going to be talking about the misconception we have around responsibility. That, I think, is the main reason we don't really connect to that energy. And the misconception is that responsibility is about making sure that physical stuff happens, and it often just becomes obligation. And looking at the difference between things like duty and obligation and have to and make it happen and all of that sort of stuff is really what we want to get out of the way so that you can meditate on this energy with us and be part of our mission to empower this stuff into the consciousness. If you think this is a great mission to be a part of, then you should get on board. You should like this video, you should subscribe to this channel, and you should sign up for our newsletter. Let's get right into some responsibility. I'm going to get my helper out here, and we're going to talk a little bit, as we have many times before, about pushing and pulling somebody. Self-defense is not just, somebody threatens you with a knife or tries to carjack you at gunpoint. It can be you're in a building and there's a fire and you need to get out, and then somebody is taking it upon themselves to say, no, you can't come through this door or whatever, and you're like, you know what, I'm going through the door. And you move them out of the way. Now, if you put yourself as braced as possible, if you think I'm going to push the physical matter of this person out of the way, you're going to be in for a struggle, especially if they are bigger than you. If I say you're not going through this door and you say there's a fire, and I say too bad, this is authorized personnel only, you may be in trouble if you're thinking I have to push this person's body out of the way. But as we talked about before, your physical matter is not really the essence of who you are. There is an energy being that lives inside that physical matter, sort of forms a column of light down through the middle of it. You can kind of visualize it by thinking of the person's spine as a column of light. And if you put your hands on me and you think, I'm not touching their body, I'm just connecting to that column of light, and then you try and push that column of light, no, you gotta relax. It's a column of light, not this heavy physical matter, just a column of light. Get as braced as you can. Brace, 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 and I just go. Woo. Now you try. Stay relaxed. This is not an effort. If you make it an effort, you start pushing against the physical matter again. Just think, this person's a column of light. I'm going to use the point where I touch to connect to that column inside of them. Think of the spine as a column of light, and then just push that. There you go. Much better.
Felt different.
Felt different, didn't it? All right, you can also pull the person. Resist. Resist as much as you can. Resist, resist. And if I think she's a physical being, I'm just going to grab this hunk of meat and I'm going to pull, then I'm in for a big struggle. But if I instead think this grip that I have is my connection to this column of light that runs through her, well, then I can just pull her very easily. Did you feel the difference?
I did.
All right, you try. Just pull, pull, pull. Just grab me and say, okay, I'm going to move this big chunk of meat. Pull. See? Hard. Difficult. Now, instead, think column of light. This is a light being. I'm just connecting my light to theirs and letting the light do the work.
Wow.
See the difference?
You're like a piece of paper.
Yeah. This works in just about any situation if you're dealing with a person, but it also works with objects. Imagine, if you would, that you have to pick up this jug of water. Pick it up. Doable, but a little heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, think about doing it with just 2 fingers. Try it. Oh, that's really difficult, isn't it?
Do you see my muscles bulge?
Yeah. When you've got it to the point where it's doable but still kind of a strain, then it's a good exercise for you. If you pick this up and you go, oh, this is nothing, then don't use this. Find yourself a heavier object. But if you can get it down to 1 or 2 fingers and still lift it, but it's hard, then that's perfect. Because now you know the difference between strain, which would be obligation, and ease, which is true responsibility. Because the secret of true responsibility is all you're really responsible for is connecting your energy to the energy of the person or the task. That's what real responsibility is. So let's give that a try. I'm going to pick it up, just with effort, and then I'm going to think this 8.8 pH water was created, filtered, boosted with the intent of health, and I'm buying it in the intent of health. So I'm going to think I'm lifting health instead of I'm lifting a jug. And if I do that, whee!
It even looked different.
Now you try it. Think, my column of light is going to connect to this not as an object, but as health. And then try to do the 2-fingered lift. Oh my God, it's so much easier, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that you can try at home. It's very simple. It works with just about anything. It doesn't have to be water. You can pick up your favorite footstool and say this represents comfort or support. And you imagine that your inner light being is connecting to comfort instead of a stool, and you can just lift. And you'll notice the difference. You'll notice that responsibility feels light. Obligation feels heavy. How can you tell? Well, are you connecting to the physical matter, or are you connecting to the energetic intent behind this person or situation? If you can tell the difference, then you, my friend, are living with some true responsibility. If you think this stuff's cool, hey, stay tuned for more Trinity.